everyone, it's Fantayzia. So we have a bunch of tweets, mainly from SimGuruMorgan. There is some tweets about lore. When I tell you, I cannot wait to meet these Sims in the pack because it's sounding like there's going to be actual lore this time. And sometimes they kind of, skip out on that part, or it's like they kind of make us think we're going to get lore. And then when it comes to it, it's nothing really. But this time, seems better. If you plan on purchasing The Sims 4 Life and Death or any of the Sims 4 packs, you can use my code FANTAYZIA on the EA app or thesims.com. This does directly support me and my channel, so I really do appreciate those of you guys who use my code. First and foremost though, I want to go over some more basic tweets that I just recently saw and I thought these things were pretty cool. So SimGuruMorgan went ahead and quote tweeted the picture of the new Mermaid Tombstone and the urn. I talked about that the other day and Morgan says, you know what I also realized is odd about this screenshot? The urn is outside. Weird. So this didn't even click to me and it seems like a lot of people didn't really put two and two together when they first saw this picture, and I don't know why we didn't because, when a sim dies, if it's inside, it automatically turns to an urn. You drag it outside, it turns to a tombstone. So I guess now that's not going to be the case. We're going to be able to choose, and I think that is amazing. I love how we're going to be having so much more customization. We're also going to be able to choose what tombstone our Sims have. Then we have a more basic one, but it is something that I didn't notice in the trailer, and someone pointed it out, and then SimGuruBat retweeted it. So Honey May Sim says, I'm rewatching the Life and Death trailer, and it looks like we'll get these new gauge earrings. Previously, we've only had similar ones from Eco Lifestyle, right? So these are some new earrings that we're getting with the pack, and honestly, I like these ones a lot more than the ones with Eco Lifestyle. I mean, I can only see them from the side here, more towards the back angle, but I feel like they look a better size for me to use them on more Sims. I love how these look. I'm excited. And yeah, we've only ever had anything like this with the Eco Lifestyle. And some people don't own that pack. I think a lot of people don't own that pack. Correct me if I'm wrong, but honestly, I never really hear many people talk about that pack, and it's actually one of my least favorite packs. I don't even know why. I think it's just I don't like to play in that sort of way in The Sims. It's not really something I focus on, because I remember initially being so excited for that pack because it seemed like something I'd love. But then when it came down to it, it's just not what I think to do in my game. I don't know. So next up, we have another quote retweet. So SimScraper has done a drawing of Nervous Subject, which we know is coming with Life and Death. Nervous Subject is a character from The Sims 2. He is supposed to be the Grim Reaper's son with Olive Spectre. He's living with a different family in The Sims 2. They kind of took him, the Beakers family, and they are testing on him. So, they just called him Nervous Subject. A lot of people have always wondered, what was his name before that? Because clearly at birth he wasn't named Nervous Subject, but that's just kind of what he became when he was a part of the Beakers household and they were experimenting on him. So anyways, SimScraper did this awesome drawing. I love it. And then Morgan quote retweeted saying, art is amazing, but also if he was Nervous Subject when he lived with the Beakers, who are experimenting on him, who was he before? I bet he even had a real name. So this is kind of telling us that he is going to have his real name in The Sims 4. We know that The Sims 4 is an alternate universe, so nothing is really the same. Sometimes this is a good thing and sometimes it's an awful thing. I feel like sometimes the lore gets kind of messed up in The Sims 4, but I guess in reality, it's not that they're trying to mess it up. It's that it's supposed to be an alternate universe, but I think sometimes it feels like they're kind of just taking an easy way with the lore, and then it kind of starts to not feel like lore anymore. Oh, it's an alternate universe, we're not going to do this and this and this. It doesn't exist in this game, and then it kind of just feels empty. Like that lore is not deep anymore. So they have done a better job with some things, and they've also gone back and fixed some townies after and stuff like that. So I'm hoping with this pack that feels so full of lore and so much story and history and all that, I'm hoping there is something going on here and it's not just simply, oh, everything's fine now. Nervous is just living with Olive and that's it. With his real name. I hope there's something happening there. That would be really, really cool. But I guess in this alternate universe, he was never taken by that household and was never experimented on. So we get this reply here and it says, I suppose him getting an actual name would make sense in a timeline where he never met the Beakers. Hopefully our boy finally gets to be happy for a chance. Or he just has bad luck following him wherever he goes. And then Morgan replies saying he has something following him everywhere he goes. So this tells me there is going to be some sort of lore happening here. Maybe instead of being kind of like kidnapped and experimented on, which was his bad luck, maybe he has different bad luck. So then she responds again saying, you may say it's chasing him. And then for the Sims reply saying he has the chased by death trait. They also say, is it the crow? And Morgan says that's not it. So I think he does have the chased by death trait, and so I'm curious about the lore there. It would make sense like he's Grimm's son. So this reply here says, ouch, that's something I always wondered when I played him and Ophelia in The Sims 2. What was his name before he came to the Beakers? I'm excited to find out. Is it part of the gameplay trailer next week, or will we find out when the pack releases? Morgan says, I don't think we say his name in the gameplay trailer, but there's a chance he might make an appearance. I'll be sure to mention it during the live stream if it doesn't come out somewhere before. So I guess he's going to make an appearance in the gameplay trailer, which is super exciting. I'm curious what they're going to show. And then if we don't hear his name, like sometimes before the pack drops, I guess we're going to hear it in the live stream, which of course will be sometime before the pack drops. So let's keep an eye out for that. I am hoping he has a good name. If you guys have any guesses of what they may have named him, let me know. Also, side note, I do want to point out in The Sims 3, he was still called Nervous Subject as a toddler, because we know everything's in a different timeline. Like, you know, Bella is a kid in The Sims 3. Bella Goth. Everything's always in a different timeline. I do think it's cool. But yeah, so in The Sims 2, I believe he is a teenager, and then Sims 3, he's a toddler, but they still called him Nervous Subject. However, there is some speculation and like rumors going on that the reason that was done is so that people would still just know that's who he is, which makes sense. You know, there wouldn't have really been any other way. I feel like people would have not realized it was him because he was so little and didn't really look anything like he did when he grew up, you know, and like especially in The Sims 3, I feel like a lot of the toddlers look the same. So I think like it was just an easy way for them to be like, okay, yeah, that's Nervous, so that everyone knows. But in The Sims 4, he looks to be a teenager and he definitely looks like Nervous. So it's safe to say we're all gonna know. And then also based off the family tree, I guess they could have done that in The Sims 3 as well. But just the fact that he was a toddler, I honestly think it was kind of like an overlook on their part. Like he should have had a different name, but it was kind of just like, okay, this is Nervous. Everyone needs to know he's Nervous. Because clearly that wasn't his name from the start. So moving along, there has been some discussion about some sort of feature coming. And we don't know what it is. Something to do with the base game update, I believe. So there's been lots of tweets about it. SimVisor has been making some tweets like this one here. Ever since October 7th, I'm still thinking this card is not about the swatches we got or potential ghost base game update for The Sims 4. This got to be something else and I'm super curious. So opening this up, if you guys remember this tarot card, it did leave a lot of people wondering what the heck is this? I mean, I feel like the other ones were a lot more obvious and a lot of people were saying, okay, some sort of transformation, but like, what is it, right? So now, just yesterday, SimVisor tweeted again. From SimGuruMorgan's tweet, I'm pretty sure that is about the upcoming base game update, and it seems it's one of the biggest ones. World Tarot card, big update that had never been mentioned. I'm dying to know. Quentin says, I hope we're not setting our expectations far too high. Morgan replies, world might be too high. It's cast related, but not like new outfit cast cool. Cooler than that. You may resume speculating. So immediately my mind is like Zodiac Signs. And I think a lot of people may have thought that too. However, we don't even have to speculate about that any further because that's already been confirmed to not be coming. This was actually confirmed back on the 8th. I don't know if I already talked about this. I may have, but Zodiac Signs are not coming with life and death. However, I do think they will eventually. But yeah, based on these tweets, English Simmer made this tweet here. And Morgan replies saying, I'm sorry to be a bummer, but to set expectations, we aren't doing that in this pack or with the upcoming update. However, I think it will come eventually. I do think this would have been a good time for it, but maybe they have some other ideas up their sleeves. However, Rory says, a cult chooser in Create a Sim? Oh my god. this could very well be it. Maybe. I think that would be really cool. A lot of people are saying that, and like I really think that has got to be what it is. Even SimScraper says, I'm going to go with creating an occult sim, ghost added after/during the creation of a regular sim. I can't even tell you how many times I've started making a sim and then I'm like, oh, I want them to be an occult or like something like that. And it's like, you have to start them off that way. I know there's cheats you can do after, or you can just go the route of, you know, playing and getting them to become a vampire or a mermaid or whatever. But it just sucks when you want to start out and you start making the sim, or sometimes I'll even forget to start them off as an occult. And then I'll make the whole sim and I'll be like, oh my God, wait, like I can't make them a vampire now unless I go through the gameplay steps or do the cheat. So that would be really, really cool. But you guys, that is everything I have found today. There might be some more tweets, but I just feel like SimGuruMorgan is tweeting so many things. So definitely, if you're on Twitter, turn your notifications on for her because I just think she is hyping everything up in the best way. I love it. So I hope you guys are excited. I hope you guys all enjoyed, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye guys.